Bet on Bears fans, another edition of the Chicago Bears podcast coming your way. And the first place Chicago Bears stand alone after last night's Philly Alliance was completed. Big shout out to the Philadelphia Eagles. Appreciate that. Shout out to the Bears for winning their game as well. But the Eagles completing the alliance. I'm hyped. I
can see that.
You can't bring me down today, baby.
I won't even try.
You can't bring me down today.
I won't even
if I
try.
stood up, this whole show get canceled. We got a lot to get into on today's show. We got to recap the Bears versus the Vikings game. Of course, we got to take a look at what we saw out of the team overall. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this may be a hot take, and maybe I just wasn't alive for enough of it. But I'm riding all the way with this one. So. Little tease there. All that and more in today's episode of the Chicago Bears podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. As always, today's episode brought to you by Underdog. Make picks, win money. Shea, how are you, my guy?
I'm great, man. First place Bears. Feels good.
Bears. First place Bears.
It's legit. Like, it's just they're alone in first place.
We're here. We're 10 weeks or 11 weeks into the season. And Shea, this time last year, there's prayer circles going. We've got hoping. We're arguing, are wins worth it, or do you need to go out there and lose the rest of these games?
Yep.
We're debating whether you beat the Packers in the final game of the season. Like, there's so much that is different this year. And I think you went out there yesterday in a game where a lot of people may look down and say you should have won, you should have dominated. I would tell you to look around the division. Look around the league. Divisional games are very difficult.
Yeah, 100%.
And the fact that you pulled that one out, was it pretty? No. The end of that game, was it pretty? Absolutely not. Like, you got to figure out why you keep having these collapses, because you've had 3 of them now in the last 4 weeks, I believe. So that's not a good place for you to be. But you come out with a tough divisional win. I can't come in here with any crazy negatives from yesterday's game, and I feel like you've got some really, really good momentum here moving forward.
A lot of good luck, and just gonna call it what it is. Here, I'll just put this out there because I'm just gonna tell everybody where I'm at with it. 7-3, you can't take anything away from, and I'll never apologize for winning games in the NFL. Never apologize for beating divisional opponents. Do I think the Bears are very good? No. Do I think the Bears are good in a playoff environment? No. Does it matter what I think? No. I'm not going to sit here and tell you can't win the division. I'm not going to sit here and tell you can't take 1 or 2 from the pack. I'm not going to sit here and tell you can't beat the Lions at the end of the season. I don't think the Lions are all that good. The Packers have not looked impressive at all, and you're sitting at 7-3. I'm personally just me doing what I do, the football that I've watched and the way I approach the sport. I will never believe that a team like the Bears is going to win in a playoff environment. You have no pass rush. Your defense, generally speaking, is bad. Yeah. It might get better when you get healthier, but it's never going to be some elite unit. Offensively, the quarterback's a little too inaccurate, and I hope it gets better in the years going forward, but it doesn't feel like something that's going to change meaningfully this season. If it does, wonderful. But in the meantime, like, who am I to say don't enjoy this or, like, no, think the way I do that your team's no good? Have fun. You're 7-3. Yeah. I'm enjoying watching it. I will happily, like, bury what I know about football and bury my head in the sand and just ride this until the wheels come off. Because it doesn't have to make sense. It can, to an extent, be magic. And make no mistake, it is. Like a blocked field goal saved you against the Raiders. Jaden Daniels putting the ball on the mat inexplicably on a handoff saved you against the Commanders. Nothing saved you against the Ravens. But then you respond to that with Jackson Dart concussion fumble. Saves you against the Giants. You win the game. You take advantage of the break. J.J. McCarthy sucks, and Devin Duvernay saves you against the Vikings.
He's so bad, bro.
And now, dude, now Aaron Rodgers isn't going to play when the Steelers come to Soldier Field. Yeah. You are going to be 8-3. You are going to get into the playoffs. Am I going to pick the Bears to beat whoever they get in that game? No, probably not. But you might win the division and play it at Soldier Field. Like, we're just we're at that point where there's 7 games left and you're 7-3, and you get to party, and you should enjoy it. It doesn't have to look pretty. It doesn't have to be sustainable. It doesn't even have to be believable. It is what it is. So I'm just, at this point, I don't have to believe it. I can just get on board and enjoy the ride. Fuck it.
I think that is, though, to the point that where I'm excited, what I saw in yesterday's game, and it's what we've seen all season. It tells me that this is real. There's some magic that happens there. There is some luck. I think you have to have that. Hey, listen, the Kansas City Chiefs went to the Super Bowl on what people would call a lucky season last year.
Yeah, that's
there's a bunch of one-win games. There's an inexplicable fumbled snap. There's now, granted,
that's
a team that's been there, a team that is won a ton of Super Bowls already, a team that knows what it's like to turn it on in a playoff environment. Very different than where the Bears are right now. But the Chiefs had a ton of wins last year where people were like, when the playoffs start, it's going to be over. And then the playoffs started, and everybody was like, oh, crap, they're in the Super Bowl again. I think you could say the same about Washington's run to the NFC title game last year. Bunch of one score games, bunch of tough wins, bunch of I don't know how Jaden Daniels just pulled that off again. The difference this year with the Bears, though, is that we can all sit here and admit it ain't perfect. In fact, it's pretty far from perfect.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson went into the locker room and said, I can't wait to watch film with y'all Tuesday. But we're going to enjoy Victory Monday. You're still trying to figure everything out.
100%.
And you're winning games. That doesn't happen very often. The Chiefs have it figured out. That's why it's different. The Commanders were kind of figuring things out, but they had pretty much most of their health. They were on a pretty good run there. You're unhealthy. You're still trying to figure out the answers to the test. Oh, by the way, you're now sitting atop the division alone. And to me, I think this is one thing and one thing only. And Shea, this may be, call it a hot take if you want to. But as far as total team dominance, I feel like we may be at a point right now where we can say Ben Johnson's the best coach in Bears history.
And Tom Thayer said it last week.
I feel like we're at a point right now where we can talk about Ben Johnson, and it was immediate. And I get it. 1985, Mike Ditka, phenomenal coach. I'm not taking anything away from it. He was a leader of the team. But when Buddy left, Ditka wasn't the same. Now, maybe Dennis Allen is Ben Johnson's Buddy Ryan, but these type of coaches have a tendency to be those guys that are those guys no matter the situation. And they build the situation, and they build the luck, and they create the opportunity. And you know what? When I look around right now at what Ben Johnson has created in this building with all the issues, we can agree that the issues are there. You have a coach right now who has the special teams pulling magic out of nowhere, the defense pulling magic out of nowhere, the offense pulling magic out of nowhere. At a certain point, it ain't magic. It's just who you are.
Yeah, I mean, the 2-minute stuff, they are clutch. Look, Duvernay getting the entire rights, like Moses part in the Red Seas on the kick return.
He caught the ball, and I immediately went, oh, he's got a lane.
Yeah, like that. It's just, they're charmed. I'll just put it this way, in my mind. And look, you can do what you want to do with Ben Johnson. I love him. I think he is a tremendous coach. And I think, going forward after this season, there's no reason you can look at this and say, think of it the baseball metaphor. You're the 2015 Cubs. And next year, you're the 2016 Cubs. And I think everybody's really enjoying this because the expectations this year were a little lighter. And you're in the fun ascent period.
Yeah.
This is the best time to be a fan, where you're on the way up, but you haven't had achievement yet or the taste of anything yet.
Yeah.
So you're not looking for more. An easy comp would be in the division. Lions fans 3 years ago probably had a lot more fun than Lions fans are having right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've had more success. They've been good for a longer period of time, but now it's like, okay, piss or get off the pot.
Yeah.
The things change. The way you look at it changes.
Dan Campbell play calling balloon popped quick, didn't it?
Sure did. But I'm making the point, we are in fun zone. Yeah. We are in just enjoy it territory. Next year, you're going to be more in expectation territory, and I think you have the right coach. Like, the biggest take I can have this season is I think you have the right quarterback, and I think you have the right coach going forward for when there are expectations. And this season, I'm letting go of the wheel. Like, it's going to end the way it's going to end.
It don't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. I don't believe it. Like, they're 7-3. They have a negative point differential.
Yeah.
Do you know the last time that I saw that? It was when the Vikings got their heads kicked in by Daniel Jones in their own house in a playoff game with Kirk Cousins. The Vikings were like 13-3 with a negative point differential. And I kept telling people, they're going to get beat in the playoffs. They have no chance. Like, that's the way I feel about the Bears. And it's not disrespect. It's not hate. It's just I watch too much football to believe that this is going to take you anywhere in January. I can't do that. I'm not going to sit here and go, I think it can happen. That doesn't mean it can't. I'm not telling anybody to not believe. Just I don't.
I think the one thing that you can say, though, that isn't going to change, and this is, right, we've seen the season, right? Some weeks it's been Caleb Williams. Some weeks it's been the defense. Some weeks it's been special teams. And none of them have been particularly consistent in their dominance to this point. The one thing that it has been consistent and why I feel like this is about to become a Sean McVay situation, why it's going to become a Kyle Shanahan situation where you're going on runs, where you're in the playoffs, where you're finding yourself in NFC title games, is because Ben Johnson hasn't changed. Ben Johnson's message has been the exact same the entire year, and it's pretty much hit to a T. Now, we'll see when we get to December if that keeps up, but he said in the beginning, hey, it's not going to be pretty. There's going to be a lot of stuff that these guys don't know, and we're going to try and win football games. That doesn't change the expectation, but it ain't going to be pretty. Guess what? It was very ugly.
It was gross.
0-2. You end up 2-2 at the end of it. You're like, all right, we're back to 500. We feel good. As you continue through the season, he's like, listen, we're going to be trending towards playing our best football at this point in the season, but it ain't going to be there. This is a very different football team than what you saw week 1 versus the Vikings. I know it looked similar, but again, I keep saying
actually, I would say it's exactly the same football team.
But divisional games are very, very different, and we know that Brian Flores understands Caleb Williams very well. That's Caleb Williams' first win versus Brian Flores in his NFL career. Brian Flores, he called a heck of a defensive game yesterday, and I thought there weren't a lot of open receivers. When there were some drops.
Yep.
And the two big ones at the beginning of the game. And I think people are looking at that and saying that's what Caleb was for the game. I thought he played better than that. But those are big ones that put the game away early where you could hit Roma Dunes. I think DJ Moore was the other one. Those are the ones I want to see him hit.
There was the late miss to Loveland in the end zone.
Yeah.
It was another day where Caleb couldn't hit the big throw.
Yeah.
And that stung a little bit, but you got out of there with a victory, and that's the important thing.
100%. But to me, like, the consistent part, no matter what the players are doing, no matter what the refs are doing in that game, has been Ben Johnson. And to me, like, when you look at that as the guy that's in charge of everything moving forward, I have to expect there's going to be some consistency in how we go about the draft and how we go about adding free agents and how we go about replacing coaches. Because guess what? Antoine Randall is probably going to get a job somewhere at some point. Al Harris 100% is going to get a job at some point because Al Harris, your top 3 leaders in interceptions in the NFL, Chicago Bears. Tremaine Edmonds, Kevin Byard, Nashawn Wright.
It's crazy.
Like, honestly, and that's the thing about it. It's like we can say it's luck at a certain point, but eventually it's just who you are. Are we happy with who you are? You may be right. They may not be able to win a playoff.
And I don't buy that it's sustainable. I've seen this so many times in my life watching football where it ends up not being sustainable because it isn't. You can't rely on takeaways. You just can't.
Sure.
And what are you when you don't get them? That's where in a playoff environment I question it. So, like, I don't think we're disagreeing at all.
No.
You and I agree Ben Johnson's the guy going forward. You and I agree Caleb's the guy going forward. I am not going to go as far as you and say that I think you have a McVay or a Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, no, I'm there.
I'm not ready to do it because there were people who felt that way about Kevin O'Connell. Like, we got to get there for me to say we're there. And I know I drank the Kool-Aid. I believe this is the guy who can take you to the promised land. I do, but I'm not going to say through 10 games that we've hit that point already.
But are we saying Kevin O'Connell's not a good coach?
No.
I would almost say Kevin O'Connell has overachieved with the mishmash of quarterbacks they have thrown his way.
I wouldn't say that. No, it's
Sam Darnold's a human again, and now is an elite quarterback. Well, until yesterday.
no, I just like Kevin O'Connell has won a playoff game, and honestly, I don't know. Like, are we putting Caleb on the level of Matthew Stafford?
Not yet. No,
Are we putting him on the level of Jared Goff?
I wouldn't put him up there, but what I would say is like a Kyle Shanahan walked in and he was the guy that said we need to throw Brock Purdy in there. He's also the guy that got Jimmy Garoppolo back on track, right? Like there are guys to me, I'll be honest with you, there are certain coaches in the NFL where you could throw them the biggest curveball and they find a way to make it work. What we saw this year with Shanahan with Mac Jones.
Sure.
Like, there is no bigger curveball than you got a different quarterback than you thought you were going to have this season. He's probably not as good. Oh, wait, those numbers look very similar. Like, to me, that is what you're getting from Ben Johnson right now. It doesn't matter the situation. And would I like it to be not all in the clutch? Sure. But the fact that you have a team that a year ago was literally making every mistake to put you in a losing situation, that is now making every break to win games. We had 4 wins a year ago, Shea. We're at 7. By the way, in the last 10 years, this is only the 5th time we've had 7 or more wins. Only one of those times did we win more than 8 games. Like it is a completely different building when you walk in there, and it's the same players. It's the same team overall for the most part that you had last season, except it's guys that are understanding in the moment what they need to get done.
I want to be careful with it because the last thing that I want is to be where you're at today. And not that this is going to happen, but it's just like my mental calculus of where I'm at with this team. If I go the level that you're going and I just like, this is different. It's going to be different. We're going to win 9 games, 10 games, 11 games. We're going to make the playoffs. And I do think that that's going to happen. And then it doesn't. Then I have to be irate about it. And I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
Like Sylvia asked a great question last week. With the start to the season, are you changing your expectations from the preseason?
Yes, but not.
I'm not at all. I'm not moved at all.
What'd you say? You said 9 and 8?
I said I demand 10 wins and a playoff berth.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'd be okay. If you win 9 and you don't get in, you win 10, you don't get in, I'm okay with it. Yeah. They're in the right place. They're in the place I needed them to be.
I love that my husband's so handy. He leaves more money for the important stuff. Whoa. Gosh darn it, Steve.
Ow. Don't be like Steve. Call Avondale Roofing. DIY is for Pinterest, not your roof.
But I'm also like, you can call me a pessimist. I would argue I'm a realist. I'm rational about it. Guys, they have a negative point differential.
Understandable. I agree.
And we got to be real. Yesterday was a 60-yard return where you still needed 9 yards, or your kicker probably clanks the try off the left upright. Yeah. Like the Raider game was a fluky blocked field goal where you opted to punt from the 40 because your kicker can't make 57 in a dome, and you got 200 put on you by a running back who stinks. The Washington game, you were a fumble away from losing. A random mesh point handoff drop onto the mat. That's the difference in winning and losing the game. The Giants game, it was a Jackson Dart concussion, fumble out of bounds, get the ball back, and Russell Wilson can't do anything. That's the difference between winning and losing the game, because you weren't stopping Jackson Dart on the ground. You just weren't.
You literally stopped him.
Well, no,
you literally
killed him.
Hey, when did that stop being okay in football? By the way, I get it. We don't want to. Nobody gets.
But
hurt.
You get my point.
No.
Like
that is what we hang our hats on with the '85 Bears.
But you get my point. If he goes out of bounds, which the Gruden clip's going around of Gruden like, dude, go out of bounds. Stop taking these hits. If he goes out of bounds, you weren't stopping them when they had a legitimate ability to like give you counters in the rushing attack. Sure. Yesterday, another fluke outcome, and it's like the one time I've seen you play a real team in the last 6 weeks, you kind of got crushed. Yeah. So I'm being a little more careful, and we're going to get to 10 wins. I don't know that that's promised. I think 9 and 8 is still in play here with the way that the schedule breaks down. I think that road trip to San Francisco late December, I think it's the second to last game of the year.
Yeah, second to last game.
That's going to be for the That's going to be for the final playoff spot, if I had to guess. That is the winner of that's going to take the 7 seed. That's my guess. Now, granted, again, like that's just how I look at it, and I'll never tell a fan that's how you have to look at it. I think if you're a fan of this team, do what you want to do, and if you're gonna go, yeah, we'll be 14-3. This is just what we're gonna do, and we're going to the Super Bears Super Bowl. Like, do it. I'm not gonna tell you no.
Yeah.
All this team has done so far is prove me wrong. They're winning games in ways that are impossible. So if the switch does flip and they start winning games in ways that are sustainable, like you don't need 3 takeaways and you don't need less second heroics, and you do split with Green Bay, if not sweep Green Bay, and you take the finale against Detroit, well, then you're probably hosting a playoff game, and maybe it's against, I don't know, maybe it's against a Green Bay who you've already beaten twice, and you feel like, hey, in Soldier, we can do this. Yeah. Like that, I'm allowing the room for that to happen. Just sitting here today, I feel the way I feel about them.
No, I get it. I just, to me, I feel like with that, with the magic, with trying to, like, I feel like Bears fans are waiting for the bottom to fall out.
That's true.
More than not. I feel like Bears fans are like, this can't be real. We don't deserve this in the city of Chicago. This coaching style is not sustainable. You winning games like this is not sustainable. Except we've seen it be sustainable for good teams. We've seen the Chiefs do this. We've seen the Eagles do this. We've seen this happen.
No, we haven't.
We didn't see the Chiefs win 1-score games on Magic last year.
Yeah, they did, but they also had a plus 60 point differential.
Now, the point differential thing, I will agree with you. I would say,
like, even Washington last year at a plus 100.
When you have 50 put on you, you're gonna struggle to fight back.
No, I get that.
Listen, there's a 50-point game in there. I
get that.
30-point game versus the Ravens hurt you. The problem is, right, and why Bears fans do feel the balloon's gonna pop. Those are the 2 best teams that you've played this season.
That's not me saying either that I think you're 40 points apart from the Lions or the Ravens. I don't believe that. I think you're probably 3 to 4 points apart from some of those teams.
Which still loses you a playoff game. If you're down 1 point in the playoffs,
you
lose a playoff game.
I just there's 2 teams in football with a record better than 500 and negative point differential. It's the Bears and the Panthers.
Yeah.
And I don't think any Panther fan would look at their team and go, yeah, we're Super Bowl caliber.
No, but I think that's the thing. You don't have to be Super Bowl caliber.
I agree.
To be in a much better place. And I think that's the thing for me. If you're a Bears fan right now and you're sitting there going Bears Super Bowl, breathe. Like, you know what I mean? Come up for air. You know what I mean? You're underwater in the Bears Kool-Aid. You just had them pour it right in the pool and you're just snorkeling right now. Like, come up for a little bit of air. But to sit here and look at this team today, a team that last season, the bottom fell out almost every week, and feel like there's no way that this can continue. You've seen it continue. You've seen it continue in ways that you manufactured. It's not just right. Like, the magic moments get you over the top. You have to put yourself in the position to get those moments. But that Washington game, 2 takeaways. Caleb Williams in the second half, I thought, played really good football. That Raiders game, you got to be better. You got to be better. But I thought when you needed him to be Superman, he put the cape on. We've seen him put the cape on multiple times this season. The defense has stepped up in big moments on late game takeaways versus the Bengals, and you needed a couple of stops there. But your offense goes down and manufactures a great drive. Like, it is a little bit of magic. I'm not saying that it's not. But I think it's more real than it is magic because you've seen it on such a consistent basis to the point where if you leave time on the clock for this football team, you go, he's going to get you in position. Yes. The biggest concern yesterday, be honest, the biggest concern yesterday was Cairo was going to make the kick.
Yeah, no, I never.
Concern, like when he was like, "No, we're not running any more plays. We're going to take this time out to kick it." I was like, "Ooh."
When JJ scored the touchdown, when JJ threw the touchdown, I thought immediately that
too much time.
There's too much time. And I
3 timeouts for the Bears.
I've never felt that way about the Bears.
Yes.
So I think the best way for me to say what I'm trying to say is I think with the coach you have and the quarterback that you have, you are going to win the coin flip more often than you're going to lose it.
Yes.
I would like there to be fewer coin flips.
I agree with that.
That's where, like,
And you're creating the coin flips by not closing out some of these games.
I think this year you're going to live on the knife edge where every game is going to be a coin flip kind of game. The Cleveland game is going to be a coin flip kind of game.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to late stuff. It's going to come down to a couple plays. And maybe when you play really good teams, it'll be a little bit further than a coin flip, and that's okay. I'm just like, you're going to win those more than you won't. It's just you can't win all of them. And when you I feel sort of the same
Coin is
way.
eventually going to come up tails.
I feel sort of the same way about Tampa. Think about Tampa's 5-1 start to the year, and it was kind of fluke stuff.
Yeah.
It was like they had blocked field goals, they had blocked punts, they had certain things go their way, and then Baker at the end of the game every time would bring them back and they'd win it, and they start 5-1, and now they're 6-4 because they play with their food all the time, and every game is them playing with fire, and eventually you're going to get burned.
Sure.
And that's where, like, for this season, eventually you're going to get burned, or eventually the coin's going to come up the wrong way, or there just won't be oxygen in the room anymore.
I think that's the thing, too, right? The Vikings game week 1, it came up the wrong way. Listen, you didn't get a turnover in the Ravens game. It came up the wrong way in a major way. Like, it has flipped on tails for the Bears this season, and they bounced back. I think that's the difference in this year than last year, and then this year moving forward.
Well, last year you lost every coin
Yeah.
flip.
Well, that's
Because you had an idiot
yeah,
head coach.
you had a generational loser, although Brian Dable got something to say about that. But no, like, to me, when you look at the coin flips this year, when you lost those coin flips, you weren't able to get yourself back on track. And I don't even think you could say this year. In Bears past, let's go back to Nagy. Let's go back to right, John Fox. Well, John Fox was horrible as well. But, like, go back to Trestman. However far you want to go back, like, when the Bears would lose those coin flips, there was no fight back. There was no. We lost back-to-back 50 games, and the only thing that saved us was the bye.
That's, again, why, like, going forward 2026, 2027, I think this team's in great shape.
Sure.
You go put together some awesome off seasons, you build a defense, and now you're starting to cook with gas.
Yeah.
Because what I want to do, like, I think the Eagles are the Bears on steroids. Where the Eagles against bad teams, they're going to beat the fucking brakes off of them.
Yeah.
But against good teams, they'll play those coin flip games, and they will win them more often than they will lose them.
Yes.
That was the Chiefs a year ago.
Yes.
Against bad teams, they'd kill you.
Yeah.
Against good teams, they'd play those coin flips, and they're going to win them more often than they're going to lose them. The Bears are the young, budding version of that, where they're doing that against bad teams, and they're going to win the coin flip. Once you get better and you step up in class as a roster, you will crush those teams, and you will win the coin flips against the good teams. That's where I think you're headed. So it's just the rest of this season, I'm not going to sit here and do some hot take thing where I'm like, oh, they can – they'll beat this team in the playoffs. They'll beat that team in the playoffs. They'll do this. They'll do that. They'll do this.
Well, it depends on how many games they win over the next few. You find a way to beat the Eagles. You find a way to beat the
100%.
Packers. Like, then it's like, all right, hold on.
And that's why I started this by saying I'm not going to tell you can't do those things.
Yeah.
Do I feel like you can today? No, I wouldn't pick you to do it. But am I going to sit here and say it can't happen? Also, no.
Yeah.
Because I think it can. There's a world where that does happen. And if it does, then we'll talk about it. But it's like, I'm kind of done doing I'm going to piss in your Cheerios and tell you why you're actually bad, because it sucks. I'd rather enjoy the ride where we're coming up on the right side of the knife edge more often than not, and just have fun with it. And, like, I don't have to believe that it can continue. I don't have to believe that it can be sustainable. That's up to them.
That's what makes it magic.
Just keep doing it.
You don't got to
like
believe it. You just got to try to figure out how it happened.
Which is my whole point today is, like, this is the season that's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
We didn't expect this.
Yeah.
If you told us they'd be 7-3, we'd have said, "Are you out of your fucking mind?"
We were all expecting right now 5-4.
Like, there's an aspect,
6-4.
There's an aspect to being a Bears fan right now. I would have to imagine that, like, can somebody pinch me? I can't believe this is real.
Yeah, it was last night.
We got the coach right. We got the quarterback right. We're 7-3. We're alone in first place.
Yeah.
How the fuck is this possible?
You know what it's a validation of, too? It's like, I knew some of these dudes were talented. Like, what the
Right.
heck was going on?
Right. And that's
How bad did Flu suck?
so, like, what am I going to? I'm going to come in and go, Caleb didn't play well. What's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Oh, Caleb's not there's no fun in harping on those things, because That's a 2026 issue.
Yes.
I am like today, my take is I'm moving all those concerns down the line. I don't care. Do I think the defensive line's getting fixed in 2025? No. Do I think that left tackle's getting fixed in 2025? No. Do I think Caleb's accuracy's getting fixed in 2025? No. We'll move those things to 2026. Just keep having fun.
Yeah.
Let's just win a few more games and play football into January and enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done complaining about it. We'll figure it out later.
And listen, if the receivers catch a few balls, the accuracy looks a lot better. I don't say the couple that you did, but there's some drop passes that are. I don't know if it's because it's getting cold or what, but we bring that ball in. Hey, let's.
They're like a money ball team in baseball where you look at it and you're like Tampa when they went to the World Series, and you're like, dude, they got shitty pitchers and all they do is play matchups, and yet they're beating the Yankees.
Yes.
And you're like, this can't be real.
Yes.
This isn't possible.
Yes.
Or Washington last year is another example of, and yeah, the point differential was better and they felt a little different, but it's like, this is a horrible defense and an awful offensive line, and yet they just went into Detroit and beat the Lions.
Yeah.
How is this real?
The matchup.
Like, there's an aspect of you can't believe what you're seeing, but you're seeing it.
Yeah.
So just let go and enjoy.
And I think you also don't. The weird part is you're winning essentially with what Washington's going through this year. Like, you're winning games with your defense decimated. And I'll be honest with you, like, I said this last week, and everybody looked at me crazy, and I was like, if you find a way to get healthy at the end of this season and you're heading into the playoffs still making some of this, eventually now it's not magic. Now you get back one of the best corners in football. Now you get back one of the best slot corners in football. That makes your defense very different. Now Tyreek Stevenson's a 2. Now Nashawn Wright, who is 3rd in interceptions in the NFL right now, I think he's number 1 among corners, all of a sudden kind of moves to your 3rd or 4th guy on the team. Like, you're a different defense at that point. You get TJ Edwards back here with he's more so out because of the hamstring than because of the hand surgery, right? Like, now it's just like, oh wait, the defense got not great, solid.
Yeah, and you
solid takes you a long way from where you're at right now.
You can start to blitz a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now the fear again, you get into a playoff environment, and I'm blitzing Matthew Stafford. Hey, hats off. Good luck.
Matthew Stafford.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's why the Vikings keep losing. They keep going up against Stafford, and Stafford just goes, this ball's going to be out in 1.5 seconds. What are you blitzing?
Well, frankly, that's why if there were anything I wanted, like people saying how nuts Brian Flores went yesterday and impacted Caleb's ability to deliver the football, and I just kind of, listen, again, I'm not going to pee on anybody's cheers. Just enjoy it. Let's just have fun. Forget it.
I thought
Let's just
Flores
have fun.
had good coverage. I
Let's
thought
just
they
have
played some
fun.
good coverage
Flores
yesterday.
was outstanding yesterday.
Yeah, he was dominant, phenomenal. Let's make the people.
Everybody
some
have
money.
a good time.
Let's make the people some money here. Shea is. We've got a Monday night football game here that is a stinker, so they might as well make some money off of this. I'll start it off here. Lower Ashton Genty on yards. Can we lock that one in?
Against the Cowboys?
You know what? Yeah, I think he stinks.
What's the number?
65.5 yards. I think Ashton Genty stinks, bro.
He does get stuffed at an alarming rate.
I think he is awful.
But it's the Cowboys.
I get you. Maybe this is the game they bounce back. He ran for 200 on us. In his last 5, he's got 67, 75, 21, 42, 60. Running
I'd
for
probably
60
just
on
stay.
Denver's kind of impressive.
I'd probably just stay away. Like, and the other thing too is if they get this into a shootout, can we do higher on like Geno Smith interceptions?
Actually, we can. Is Geno in here?
Because he's throwing a pick.
Oh, he's throwing probably 2.
I wouldn't go that far, but he's throwing 1.
Geno Smith, what do they got him on here? You can go interceptions thrown. You can go higher, but it's actually less of a profit boost because they know it.
Just put it in. It's a free space. I mean, it's a free space.
Free space.
Yeah, it's like you sit down at bingo and you just cover one up. That's Geno Smith interception.
Geno Smith interception. You know what? I'll still go. If you want to go yards on anybody, higher Brock Bowers yards.
I was just going to say, I think
higher
that's
on
good.
Brock Bowers yards, 74.5 receiving yards there. And then we got to pick a Cowboy here. Higher on Dak Prescott touchdowns. That's kind of one of those.
1.5.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those as well where they're like, yeah, you're going to have to bump that up.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
1.5. If you go 2.5, you get that profit boost on that.
But asking anybody to do 3 touchdowns like scary. I can't get on board. It is the Raiders.
It's the Raiders, though, dog.
I gotta be honest, dude. Part of me, I'm like, I don't even want to watch this game. I'm gonna like to. This is a great night to throw in a little same game parlay and check it in the morning. This is like you put in one of these underdog things and you check the score in the morning and see if you won. And you tell your wife, I'm giving you back on Monday, honey. Like, let's watch a movie tonight.
Listen, it is an awful game. It may be a high-scoring game on one part because I absolutely think that the Raiders are so god-awful. It's impressive how bad they are. But $20 pays you $100 on that one with a 40% profit boost.
That'll work.
That'll get you done. That'll get you a little Monday night. You watch a movie with the wife.
That'll work.
Come back. You made $100. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure that you guys tune in with Underdog. Download the app today. Sign up with the promo code CBP to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. It's promo code CBP. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. EOQ the disclaimer. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or over in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Finishing out here on the Chicago Bears podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Shea, Norling, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Make sure that you guys are also tapped in. Don't know why I closed the app. There we go. With the Advantage Dealer Group. Find your next Chevy, Toyota, or Acura and drive off in under 60 minutes, or they'll make your first car payment. Also brought to you by the Hard Rock Casino in Northern Indiana. Las Vegas-style gaming, just 30 minutes from Soldier Field. Exit 6, I-80-94. All right, Shea, let's finish it out with this. Can you now say, with the Bears sitting 7-3, first place in the division, we know what the comments were when he got here, that this is officially Ryan Poles' first successful season as a GM? He said he was going to take the North and never give it back. He has taken the North. We will see if he ever does give it back here.
Boy, is it tough. No, I'm going to say no. I'm going to lean no. Dio signing sucked.
That's a bad one.
Grady Jarrett signing
Tooney's
so
a
far.
great move.
Yeah, Grady Jarrett was nice yesterday, but Grady Jarrett so far underwhelming.
Yes.
Tooney was a great move. It's just for as many successes, there are still some misses.
Your offensive line is one of the best in football right now.
Colston, which he gets full credit for.
Yes.
Colston Loveland is looking better.
Yep.
That's improving. That's a good sign. My problem is when you kind of strike out in the second round again.
Have you? Luther Burden looks like if you throw the football his way, he will catch it.
They don't throw it to him enough, and I still got the problem of Ozzie Trapillo and Shamar Stewart.
He did get
Shamar Turner, whichever
Shamar
one
Turner,
it is.
yeah. Ozzie did get in the game yesterday, 1 rep at left tackle, and immediately ran back out.
Like I'm not there yet, and honestly, you better hold on to this.
Yeah.
Now, if they get to 10-7, and I end up looking at it and going, Loveland, great, clearly the right pick at 10. Rome keeps growing. Looks like I'm just, dude. There's a part of me that still misses Jared Verse too much. There's a part of me that still misses Jalen Carter too much. There's a part of me that's still pissed off this defensive line isn't fixed.
Yeah.
Like it's been a better season for Ryan Poles. Am I ready to sit here and say it's been a success? No. Let's get to the playoffs first. You get into the playoffs and I can look at the draft and go, you did well here, now fix your failings.
Yeah.
Then okay, I can say we're getting on the right path, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's a success yet. Tier 4 is the first time we're even talking playoffs. That's
true. It's very true. And listen, Ryan Poles would probably say, as you're building it, you have to go through the ugly years to get there. Year 4, a long time, but as Koifi Adolfo-Mensah has basically been there every year?
Yeah, you know what? You know what the rub? He kind of stinks too. Like there's just he can't draft. Yeah, that's fine. Some of the free agent stuff's okay.
I will say this.
Bernard's good.
Looking at Ryan Poles this year, the draft, I feel like you have 3 hits. Now, are they hits as far as where they were taken? We'll see. it's more of a throw the football to them than I don't see the talent that they have. I think Colston Love has immense talent. I think that Luther Burden, every time he gets the football, it looks like he can take it 100 yards. He truly – the fact that OZ was able to hold him off for so long is kind of impressive, actually. And I think you got to hit with Kyle Monunga in the 7th round. Hitting late is always going to be better. Right, Sean joke there. But to me – when you look at free agency and trades, you fixed a position that hasn't been fixed in this town since I would say probably maybe 2008. Talking about the offensive line as a whole. You haven't had a good offensive line really since Olin Kreutz left in 10.
Yeah.
And you now have, outside of Theo Benedict, who, by the way, has gotten better week over week, you now have 4 offensive linemen who are top 5 in the NFL at their position. That says a lot. I know you can't fix everything in one offseason. The Dial signing is god-awful.
Terrible.
It is. How we talked about the Tremaine Edmonds signing, by the way, that what I tell you before the season started, I was like, we're going to have to pay, we might have to pay him some money by the end of this year. But the Dial signing for where the Tremaine contract is like leaps and bounds worse to me than what Tremaine is.
Yeah. I would let
Tremaine is living up to it.
I would let him walk, by the way.
Good. You can go draft a guy.
Yeah,
I just that spot.
You're not going to replicate the interceptions. Like
sure,
you're just not.
Yeah, sure. I mean, listen, I don't know what Al Harris is, but he's a magic man. That's the magic. But I feel like when you pair all that up with Ben Johnson, Dennis Allen, all of the coaches that are here. Eric Bieniemy took a shot yesterday. Hope he's okay. I thought he was going to try and lay him out, and it was flashback there for a second. I feel like it's tough to say that it's not a successful season. And you're sitting alone at first. There's a lot of wins there. If you get 3 hits in a draft, that's a win.
If the season ended today, you would say it's a success.
Yes.
The season doesn't end today.
Sure.
And I just need to see a little more before I start putting praise on him. I do. I might have been one of the biggest critics of Ryan Poles. But I'm not ready to go there yet. I need a little more time.
You need a little more time?
I need to see a little bit more.
We're going to give you as much time as you need, buddy.
I want to get to the
train ain't stopping.
I want to get to the 10 wins. Yeah. I want to make the playoffs, and then we'll see where we're at.
I do love the fact, though, that this makes no sense, but I'm on the train. Let's go.
Well, yeah, what else are you going to do?
I love it. It makes sense.
That's sports fandom. And in a year like this, when you're clearly on the rise and like the next couple – look, I know it. With the baseball team I grew up with, last year, or 2024, was a miracle run.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's never going to be this fun again.
Yeah.
Because now there's going to be expectation.
Now you expect it.
So it's like this year we didn't expect this. Just hop on, have a good time. It doesn't matter if you believe it. Next year it's not going to be as fun. So just enjoy it now. But the polls thing, no, I'm going to wait because I tell you, like, yeah, he hit on a late round running back, but he has a tendency to smell his own farts a little bit when he hits on late stuff. You hit on Braxton Jones, the 5th round left tackle, and you married yourself to him.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see.
Well, listen, unfortunately, we know that he will pay a running back. So Kyle Monunga, if he keeps this up, probably will end up getting paid. I guess it's good that he did move on from some of those guys that he loved so much. Like, I looked at Velus Jones' receptions yesterday. You know it's under 10? He drafted a wide receiver in the 3rd round.
You know who else did that?
That played a lot of games.
Here, Bears fans like this. You know who else did that? Hey, Lions fans, how you guys feeling about shipping 3 third-round picks for a wide receiver who doesn't see the field? You could have shipped 1 for Jalen Phillips. I'll tell you the biggest reason for optimism on the Bears train is the Lions might stink.
I'm not going to lie. Watching Dan Campbell last night, I was like, I tell you what, he doesn't got a lot of answers.
They don't.
It kept being like there's hands up. Listen, the Phillies defense is also
great.
2 in the NFL if you went behind the Broncos?
And the reason is because they traded a 3rd-round pick for Jalen Phillips, 100%. Which is the move the Lions should have made.
100%.
That's where I just laugh, and I'm like, dude, maybe, again, smelling your own farts, all the Lions want to do is extend their own players. They don't want to go out and get better.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's your turn to take advantage of that.
You do. There's some excitement in the fact that Ryan Poles is willing to take swings. Some of those swings suck, though. Some of those are there's some of those. Sorry about that. Javi Baez swings. You know what I mean? It's 6 inches outside.
Doesn't offend me
Swinging for the fences
at all.
Hey, man.
I'm a Hawks fan, dude. I don't know if you knew this. I grew up in Downers Grove. My dad took me to Hawks games. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, but
were you out there
dyed,
in the UC?
Dyed in the wool.
Were you
Hawks.
doing a little
Yeah.
Detroit sucks in the
Oh, yeah.
UC?
The Dead Wings? Fuck them, dude. No way. I grew up here. I've been dyed in the wool Hawks fan.
I love that you're just like, let me go. And the White Sox are on the come up. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing that. Well, I can't have everything. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave
They
a
are.
5-star review.
You know they're going to finish second this year, the White Sox.
Yeah.
In the Central.
Yeah. Oh, dog. Come on, dog. Listen, I know what's coming. They're about to spend some money.
No, they're
And
not going to do that.
It's
but
going
they'll
to
be
kill
okay.
Jerry.
They'll be all right.
It's going to kill Jerry. He's going to be like, open the wallet. Open the wallet. You can't make me. Spent. Nah, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Shea, Norling, it's your boy Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Chicago is up. Bulls, figure it out. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.